The case of Shreya Singhal vs. Union of India is a landmark legal case in India that dealt with the issue of online freedom of speech and expression. The case was heard by a two-judge bench of the Supreme Court of India and was decided in 2015. The case was initiated by a public interest litigation filed by Ms. Shreya Singhal, a law student, challenging the constitutionality of Section 66A of the Information Technology Act, 2000, which criminalized the sending of offensive messages through electronic means. The section provided for imprisonment of up to 3 years for anyone found guilty of sending any information that is grossly offensive or has menacing character through electronic communication. The petitioner argued that Section 66A violated the freedom of speech and expression guaranteed under Article 19(1)(a) of the Indian Constitution. She also argued that the section was vague and overbroad, and that it could be easily misused to suppress legitimate speech and expression. The government, on the other hand, argued that the section was necessary to curb online harassment and to protect individuals from offensive or menacing messages. The Supreme Court, in its judgment, struck down Section 66A of the IT Act as unconstitutional, stating that it was violative of the freedom of speech and expression guaranteed under Article 19(1)(a) of the Indian Constitution. The court held that the section was vague and overbroad, and that it could be easily misused to suppress legitimate speech and expression. The court also held that the section failed to satisfy the threefold test laid down by the court in the case of R. Rajagopal v. State of Tamil Nadu, 1994, which states that any restriction on freedom of speech and expression must be 1. Reasonable, 2. In the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency or morality, or in relation to contempt of court, defamation or incitement to an offense, and 3. Proportionate to the harm caused. This judgment had far-reaching consequences and was hailed as a significant step towards protecting online freedom of speech and expression in India. The court's decision to strike down Section 66A of the IT Act has been widely acclaimed as a victory for free speech and civil liberties in India, and has been seen as a step towards creating a more open and tolerant online space in the country. In conclusion, the case of Shreya Singhal vs. Union of India was a landmark legal case that dealt with the issue of online freedom of speech and expression in India. The Supreme Court struck down Section 66A of the IT Act as unconstitutional, holding that it was violative of the freedom of speech and expression guaranteed under Article 19(1)(a) of the Indian Constitution. The judgment had far-reaching consequences and was hailed as a significant step towards protecting online freedom of speech and expression in India.